some more analysis from our French politics editor, Marc Perelman. Marc, looks like a very tight schedule for the rollout of that health pass, doesn't it?
Extremely tight, Tom. The government is meeting. There's a cabinet meeting. Normally it takes place on Wednesday. Today's Monday, but it's an exceptional week because, first of all, there was the need for a clearance from France's top administrative court, the Conseil d'État, to this proposed bill that you just described. And it was given. There are a few very tiny changes that the Conseil d'État is asking the government to make. Now it is being formally presented to the cabinet, and then immediately it goes to Parliament. The lower house of Parliament, then to the Senate, and then they need to vote it and then submit it to another court, the Constitutional Council. The council will rule whether this bill is constitutional or not. And some of those measures might be quite controversial, and this needs to be done by Sunday in order to have the health pass already in place to be implemented as of next week. So it's extremely tight. Those measures were announced by the president a week ago, and they need to be in place very quickly. And obviously, the authorities are hoping to rush this, even though some might argue that the main goal was to get people vaccinated. And we've seen millions of people take appointments to get their jabs in the past week. So that's probably already one goal achieved. But whether this bill will become law and whether it will be implemented remains to be seen.
Okay, so as you say, lots of hurdles and very little time.
Yes.
And those protests, we're just looking at pictures of them behind you. I mean, do you think this is something we're like to see more of? Do you see this protest movement gathering momentum, or do you think perhaps the weekend display of anger was a bit of a one-off?
Well, it's obviously always difficult to predict. The government is counting on the support of what it calls the silent majority, those people who are making appointments to get jabbed. The polls are showing that most people are in favor of using this health pass to go and have a coffee, watch a movie, or go to the theater, because most of the French have now been vaccinated, at least the adult population. And there's one element that you should always keep in mind in France. It's summertime, and it's not the right moment for a protest movement to continue to live on. So one could assume it's a one-off, but clearly there's an anger because some are saying, the government promised us that we would never be segregated, those who get a jab, those who don't. And this is exactly what's happening right now. So there's an anger, and obviously some in government still remember vividly the Yellow Vest movement. It started as something people thought would never flourish, and then you could see the results. So the government is watching this very closely, especially if there's a second round of demonstration in the coming days.
Yeah, and interestingly, quite a few yellow vests being worn by the people at those protests we've been looking at there. Well, thank you very much indeed. Our French politics editor, Marc Perelman. Thank you.